Jimmy, we got a special guest today. We're talking with the one and only Alex Crum.
Alex Crum. AC, baby. The man, the myth, the legend. Not
High
sure
praise,
anybody
guys.
has burst onto the scene as quick as this guy and made as much noise.
Yeah, it's incredible. Real quick, I'm glad you got the blue shirt memo. We're all wearing blue today.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Let's go. I'll have to get you guys some B. Dratty polos. Best in the business.
Alex, give us a little bit of quick background, like one or 2 minutes, where you're from, what your plans are right now. So as Jimmy said, you came onto the scene really strong. You beat Federico Saxford, world's #1 pickleball player in PPA. You have some other good wins there too also. And then you go on to APP and you also beat Chris Hayworth in their APP tournament, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it gets better than that. So you give us, tell us like how your career started, tennis background. I mean, we know, but like for people that don't know.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I grew up as a lifelong tennis player, right? I grew up playing in both Louisville and Chicago as a junior player. And I was a good junior player. I would say around top 75, top 80 in the country growing up. Love competing. That was always the funnest thing about it for me. I know a lot of kids growing up are like, I hate going to tournaments, blah, blah, blah. Like that's what I loved. Like I said, staying at the Best Western with my dad, eating continental breakfast, rolling up, competing. That's why I enjoyed it. Had a really bad wrist injury my senior year of high school. Tried to play college tennis at the University of Dayton, but just could not play without significant pain. So I actually took 7 years off of tennis completely. And then I was dating a German policewoman, long story.
Wow.
But after traveling the world for a few years and blowing through my savings, I decided that I would go and try to live in Germany because being a cop over there is actually a very good job, and she refused to leave. So I moved over to Germany. There was a little like red clay club across our street, and there was this Argentinian guy who didn't speak English or German. And I went over there and like made friends with him and started teaching tennis over there. And the relationship ended up fizzling, lots of different factors there. Moved back to the States and then have kind of been teaching tennis for the last 6-7 years at various country clubs throughout the country, which I've really enjoyed. First hit a pickleball about 1.5 years ago, maybe a year and like 7-8 months ago, actually at a club up in Maine called Prouts Neck. Shout out Prouts. And there's a gentleman there by the name of Brett Warner, who is a little bit older, but he played professional pickleball. And now he's like one of the guys.
What was his name?
Brett Warner.
Okay. I know.
So he's trying to get the pure pickleball facility, the facility that's meant to be the stadium swim of pickleball. They say we have 18,000 courts.
50 courts there.
Right. I'm hopeful that the facility gets built because and I know they've even been in talks with PPA about maybe things in the future, but they haven't broken ground yet. So anyway, I played with him for the first time up in Maine, and it just felt really natural for me right out of the gate. Just the strokes. I feel like they translated a lot better for me than maybe from other tennis players. I always had really good ground strokes, always had a terrible serve in tennis. And so I was like, all right, like now I got a good serve.
Yeah.
So I started competing professionally like right away. PPA Cincinnati was my first tournament in 2023. I got 2-pieced first round of qualies by Jason McNulty, who is not a good singles player.
Wow. You said 2023 PPA Cincy?
Correct. And that was like a month after picking up a paddle. But like I thought I was him right away. And I found out that I wasn't. But so then my second tournament, though, I won the Atlantic City Indoor Nationals, which like there was like 17 people in it, not like great competition, but Aiden Lika. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that name.
Of course.
Yes. And so I beat him in the finals and I was like, all right. Like, and then I looked up a match. I'm like, he took Ben Johns to 3 a couple months ago. Like, okay. And then played some APPs. I mean, I beat like Ryler DeHart, Naveen Beasley, and Zach Taylor in my next tournament. So that would be tournament number 3. Yeah. And I mean, I felt like in singles, like I can hang with these guys kind of straight away.
Were you also playing doubles in these tournaments, or was it just purely singles?
No, I played doubles a couple times. Yeah. Okay. But I mean, I'm much better at doubles now than I even was then. Like when you first start playing doubles, like your court positioning, like everything is just so terrible. So, and then, I mean, since then I've been competing on the APP tour for the last year. Not been able to practice a ton until recently, just kind of, when you're teaching tennis 9 hours a day, like number one, most of the guys who practice down in South Florida, like I'm friends with all these guys, but they practice during the day and they cold plunge and they go to the zoo. Like they don't do anything. You know what I mean? By 7 o'clock, like they're not practicing again. You know what I mean?
Dude,
So,
I saw, hey, I think it was Rachel Rohrbacher did like a day in the life, and she literally like woke up, ate breakfast, went to Pilates, played
plunge.
pickleball, washed her hair, played pickleball again. You know,
red light
like
therapy.
yeah, exactly.
Bring out
Just
the
like a
Theragun.
totally
I'm like,
different,
golly.
yeah.
I'm out there grinding in the sun, but hopefully that's sort of changing now.
Real quick, how old are you?
I just turned a very young, spry 33.
Okay. That's my age, actually.
Exactly. Which I mean, we're young still.
Yeah, young bucks.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Oh, funny story. So this last week we were in Mesa, and they had an indoor track there. And so I love running, I love racing, and so Connor Garnett, he claims he's pretty fast, and so I ended up racing him, and I smashed him.
Dude, I saw
It wasn't
was it a
smash. We saw the
smash? I
video.
thought it was
No,
like
I smashed him.
dude,
Bro,
it was like the
photo
Preakness.
finish.
Bro, do you know how quick those races go? Milliseconds.
And he has longer, like you have longer legs.
He should be quicker
probably
than me.
never runs.
He should be quicker than me in the shorter races.
How old
Anyways,
is Connor?
yeah.
Like
you can still be quick in your 30s, 40s, whatever it is.
100%.
Real quick, give us what your plans are for the future in pickleball. What are you trying to do?
Before we go there, I want to talk about something else because you get those wins. You beat Fed, you beat Zane, like you have some huge wins. And then I believe it's Andrea Coop goes to Twitter and she says, this is bad for the sport. And I think AB even like comes and says kind of something similar and says, well, at least it didn't happen in doubles. He would never do that in doubles. Right. And you kind of responded and were like, you know, you took it well, I felt like. But what are your thoughts on that? Like,
well, again, I think there was a little bit of misconception again, like surrounding me and like who I was. I think the narrative initially was like, this guy is like a rapper, like crazy man off the streets, never played pickleball. It's like, nah, you know, the last person who beat Chris Hayworth before he lost to Will House, it was me. So it's like, I'm friends with a lot of pro pickleball players. Like
you ranked top 5 in APP, right?
Yeah, I'm
Singles?
like 3 now. Well, now that Grayson's gone, in theory, I'm 2.
Yeah.
So I think that was the narrative that was being pushed, is that like, this is some random jokester who came out and beat the #1 player in the world. That's entirely false. But all things aside, like, and I've made this comparison before, but like, why is March Madness so popular? Like, why people always want to see an upset here or there. And it's not like there's that much parity in singles. You may get a guy who wins a match here or there, but if you look at the quarters in PPAs this year, it's Hunter, it's Connor, it's Ben, it's Fed. Like, you very rarely have someone other than these top guys make it in. So like, the narrative that there's just all these jokesters coming in and like making deep runs is just factually incorrect. And yeah, in doubles, you're right. You will never see a qualifier team in a PPA make even around a 16 probably. And like, that's fine because the skill gap is so large and it highlights that. But also, I think a little parity is good. It's like, oh, great. Here's, you know, so-and-so versus so-and-so for the 52nd time this year. Like, all right, you know?
So real quick, are you a big fan of the lifetime ball?
I actually, no joke. I do love the lifetime ball. Yeah, I do. Like, me and Fed, I was talking to Fed about this the other day. He's like, I'm like, dude, it's a good ball.
Yeah.
It helps my game for sure because it's hard and fast. It cuts through the air. Like, you can nuke it, like, which I love. Again, like me and Fed with the Franklin, I got to make a whole strategy change there. But my biggest thing with it is that it stays in round and the bounce is true. Like, I love the Vulcan ball. Like, I do like the Vulcan ball a lot, but you will occasionally get like some bounces where you're just like, what in tarnation?
No, that's true for sure. I did notice the lifetime ball. It did seem to skip a little bit, a couple times.
Cut into like on a hard flat ball. Yeah. Occasionally, I'd say so.
Yeah. I mean, no ball is going to be perfect, but I did see a couple skips from the lifetime one.
Do you think it's a bad thing, like Fed said, that singles is just becoming mini tennis? Is that really a bad thing?
Not at all. I think more and me and Big Gucci talked about this a little bit. Like, longer points are good for pickleball singles. Like, the baseline rallies are good. Like, Hunter stays back more than anyone, and he's arguably the best singles player in the world right now. So it's like longer points, working the point, ultimately moving forward right away. Like, you know, like, I love watching like Frank Anthony Davis play pickleball, but it's just like, it's not practical anymore. Like, why am I gonna, if Ben drops a ball into the kitchen line, like, why am I gonna to do a little dinky shot back to him? I'm gonna take a step back and rip one. Like, why? You know, so
yeah, like, it's more fun to watch I mean, look, the women's games already does that, right? A lot of
100%.
none of them come forward. They stay at the baseline. They hit passing shots. You know, the only guys like kind of are Fed and Ben are the only ones that do a ton of cat and mouse at the net. I mean, they're both successful when they do it, but when Ben plays tennis players, he struggles.
100%.
When he plays guys, you know, that's kind of his
like
kryptonite.
Zane, when he plays Zane
Have you played Ben Johns in singles?
No, I would love to. Like I think it could go one of two ways. Like I think it's a good matchup for me on paper. I think if I'm on, I think I would win. I think if like I get tied or something, he might just blow the doors off me. Like I think it would go one of two ways. The thing with guys like Ben and Fed is that you get a lot of looks at passes because they're not super aggressive with their volleys at the net. Like they're going to cut it and move you around a little bit. But like I always, you know, I think Chris and I play pretty similarly where we can both pass really well off both wings. So like if you give Chris 3 or 4 looks at a pass, like he's going to make one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of feel the same way about my game where it's like, you know, if I get tight and try to start doing too much with the drops, then yeah, I could get in trouble quickly. But if I'm patient, like I like my chances.
Do you think Chris is better than Fed?
Different. I think, yeah, I match up against Chris pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Chris is a great friend, awesome guy, and like maybe the best singles player in the world, like if we're playing side out pickleball. But for whatever reason, like I just think it's a pretty decent matchup for me.
Yeah.
How many times have you played Chris? 2, you
Twice.
said?
Yeah.
And you've beaten him both times.
Correct.
Wow. I didn't know you played him
Rally scoring though. So it's
So
like
let's
whatever.
talk about that. So APP does rally scoring and singles. It seems like you guys all hate it, rightfully
Correct.
so. Well, have they explained that at all? Like the reasoning behind it? What?
I think the initial rationale was that like it's easier for viewers to follow on T. The problem is that up until about 3 tournaments ago, they didn't even stream singles. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And I also get it. Like it's tough if you're playing all 3 events, right? And they used to have the comeback draw. But it's like, all right, if you're gonna do rally scoring, then you might as well keep the comeback draw. Like we're in the semis by like 10:30 on a Tuesday. I'm like, we're in the semi. I'm like, look at my watch. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like,
how quick are those games going? The singles games going?
Not as
when you have 30,
not as
28,
quickly
like
as you'd. Yeah, freaking me and Armand, man, King of Mumbai. Not as quick as you actually might think. Like I think on average, the times are actually somewhat similar. It's just a totally different feel out there. Like I said, you know, from the first point, you're just like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like, whereas inside out, like when I step out and play a side out singles pickleball match, I'm like, I'm going to win. Doesn't matter who I'm playing. When I'm playing a rally, I could be playing Petey from the park. And I'm like, if I miss a few returns.
when you play rally, are you more conservative?
Yeah, I'm not because I'm just go out there and rip it. But in general, yeah, like if you can play side out pickleball and if you can just make returns and stay solid at the net, like you're gonna have a chance. Doesn't matter who you play, which is why what Chris did, like, and I've talked about this a little bit previously, like what he did, it's insane. It's actually insane.
Yeah.
It seems like anybody would be able to rattle off 1 or 2 games
at some point, right? Yeah.
Right. Like being at 13, how many times I saw him like at 13 all or 13, 14 throughout the course of the year and be like, you know, to find a way every single time was remarkable. So Chris.
So he was on our MLP team, and besides like being I think his doubles game is getting much better too.
100%.
And he's like the best dude you'll ever meet. Like, just a good guy. Like he's hard not to root for.
No, he's one of my first friends in pickleball. And again, I think like it's hard when it's like you just win every single tournament and then it's like you lose and it seems people give more credence to the losses than the wins. I think like for him, like I know he's sick of the rally scoring. Like if he played side out, he'd play like, I mean, in nationals, he killed everyone. In the US Open, like I couldn't play that because of work, but he killed everyone. Like he beat Grayson like 3 and 4 in the finals, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he's focused more on the
never
doubles
beat
side.
Chris, right?
No, which is crazy. Like,
which is wild. That's even more insane.
Well, how many times have they played?
Quite a few. Quite a few.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of it's mental, I think.
But. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So Alex, tell me a little bit about, so you went to Dayton for
just a year. And then I ended up going back to the University of Louisville.
So listen, and you started a music career.
Correct.
So I consider myself a hip hop aficionado here.
Wait till you hear the song that we're recording tonight.
Well, bro, I went and listened to some of your stuff.
Fire.
So besides the fact I'm a huge sports guy,
Same.
and so you have a song actually that I literally put it on my playlist called Reese Gaines.
Reese
And I
Gaines,
was like,
baby. Old school
yeah,
Louisville
and so
boy
like
like Reese Gaines.
Reese Gaines at Louisville was just an absolute beast.
He was stud.
Yeah, and so
We
I
tried
don't
to get
know
him.
that-
We tried to get him here today, but he's like out of town. We almost made it happen.
Oh, really? So yeah, like
Yeah.
that dude, like that spoke to me. Like, yeah, I mean, Tyler has no idea who Reese Gaines is.
The Tyler's a basketball guy, though, right?
He is, but like, I mean, he's casual.
Yeah, I'm not casual. Nothing's casual about my Louisville fandom at all.
Yeah, see?
I'm a psychopath.
So yeah, I mean, give us a little teaser, or like what was your
I'll
background with
just say
music?
that with music. So I mean, I've been rapping since I was like 10 years old. Again, I lived in Chicago. I had a neighbor who freestyled and wore do-rags and thought he was something he wasn't. But that's how I got into it. And so like basically from age 10 until now, like it's just always been a part of my life, whether it was like performing for my classmates at school, performing at pep rallies. Every pep rally, they would call me up in front of the whole, 2,000 people, and I'd have to freestyle. Like I performed at all my friends' weddings, which most of which have been great successes. A couple times I had a few too much glasses of Chardonnay, and they turn into disastrous performances. It's a fine line when you're freestyling.
Can we get a freestyle KOTC freestyle?
You want a KOT freestyle?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it. I feel like
Yeah,
we
we
need
do.
it. Well, we need a new theme song. Let's see what we got. I mean,
You definitely do need a new theme song. Yeah, well, all right, we'll do one before we wrap.
okay. All right, I love it.
But anyway, no. So it's just been something like it's good for my brain to have a creative outlet. So like whether or not like I was planning on recording an EP this summer anyway. Obviously now that like I have 12,000 more followers than I did 2 weeks ago, I'm like, well, that definitely makes sense to do that even more so.
Yeah.
But
I'll
just tell you this song.
Music or pickleball? What are you choosing?
Pickleball, just because I think it's more probable that it's going to be a career for me going forward. Like if I had I mean, that's a tough question though. Like it's a yin and a yang type of thing for me. So I'd have to sit on that.
Who are your top 5 rappers right now? Top 5.
I would probably say all time. Probably Eminem, Big L, Drake, probably Wayne. I would say Kanye, but I feel like I probably shouldn't say. I feel like, I mean, if I go like old school, I'm saying old school Kanye.
I don't know
like,
how many
probably
Jewish
be my
listeners
top
we
5.
have. We probably shouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, probably not a ton. They're not too big in the pickleball space yet, but once they are, buddy.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
a wrap.
Kanye and Diddy are probably off limits now.
Yeah, I was never a big Diddy guy anyway.
Me
Happy to
neither.
say that. Yeah, I mean, I like contemporary hip hop. I mean, I like some old school stuff, but like, I don't know. Like for me, the rap where it's like, I went to the park and it was after dark. I'm like, there's just not that much skill involved there.
Yeah.
As far as it's like, that's the same thing. It's like watching old pickleball points. It's like, great shot, dude. Like you should have put that one away. Like that's,
Yeah.
similar to like old school rapping where it's like,
we just recorded like our regular podcast and we just talked about this. We were talking about Riley Newman actually.
Mm-hmm.
And someone asked us a question if Riley, if the game's kind of passed him by because it's kind of a new age of pickleball. Like, and Tyler just played Riley at MLP and they literally, Tyler and Connor Garnett sped up every ball right out.
yeah.
And that's kind of where the game's gone, right? And rap's kind of the same thing, but like pickleball, it's so different now than even 3 years ago.
100%.
I mean, we don't see those long dink rallies anymore, especially on the men's side. Hot paddles, everybody's 2 inches off the ground, speeding it up in the kitchen. I mean, I think it's more exciting. I think it's more fun to watch.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, listen, like I'll be honest, like my friends who don't play pickleball still could give 2 hoots about doubles. Like they still think it's stupid, to be honest. Like, and all my friends are degenerate sports bettors, all those things, and like they cannot stand watching doubles. They still think it's stupid. We have to clear that hurdle somehow.
Yeah.
Like I think gambling is the shoe that has to drop. I don't think that's going to happen.
Bro, we were on the same page.
I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, to be frank, because I don't think
Connor claims that there is gambling already for MLP outside of the States.
Really?
Yeah, which is why
who's
you have
making
to
the
your
lines
lineup
though
before the day of.
I know that the Hard Rock in Florida had lines for a while, and they're limits were super small, but people were just crushing it because they just didn't have a ton of like data.
Right.
And some of the lines were just like, I remember I've mentioned this before. Jay was playing singles against Anik Lahani, and Jay was favored by, it was like -9.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And so like everybody just hammered Lahani and, you know, made a bunch of money on it. And it's just like, you know, I just don't think there's enough data yet.
Right. And there's a reason, like UTR, which is the tennis radial system, is such a refined system. Like there's a reason that I can bet on like two like Taiwanese 14-year-olds playing at 2 a.m. It's because UTR is so good that like very rarely, almost never will you have an 11-5 beat a 12.
Yeah,
where it's like with Duper, it's not that reliable yet. I think maybe
it's getting better.
It's getting better. No,
100%. Yeah.
And big shout out to Tito. That's the guy. But like,
yeah,
you know, you're not quite there yet. So if you put Anna Lee -500 or something like that, like what's to stop me from putting the family farm on that? You know what I mean?
For sure.
So I think they were getting their butts handed to them, and that's why. But
yeah,
if you could put $10 on a doubles match, like watching those elongated dink rallies, all of a sudden becomes so much more interesting.
Oh, totally. Or like when they, you know, so like because they were putting like I said, it was Jay -9 on Anik Lahani, and it was like everybody was, I remember being on Twitter and everybody was like cheering for Jay, and it went to the third game. And as soon as it went to the third game, you're like, well, Jay's not going to beat him by 9 shots now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and people are like, I mean, anyways, it just makes it more fun and more exciting. And, you know, I think things like that, I mean, that's what pickleball needs. And that
you
gets
can make
the casual
moral
guys in.
100%. And you can make the moral argument about it, but it's like, all right, let's be real. If you turn on ESPN now, it's nothing but ESPN bet promos. Like the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
Like,
they used to never talk about it. Do you remember like Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, that like they would casually mix in, a lot of happy people tonight.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, but they can never fully come out and say it. Now it's like, I mean, they're showing the lines right on TV and everything.
Correct. So,
but do you think that there needs to be prize money on the line before they have gambling based off of player effort? Maybe.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think it sounds like this is what PPA is going towards, right? Like more of a prize money based model. Like I don't think like small appearance fee things are necessarily a bad thing, but I also just feel like in general, like I would prefer to like, all right, if I do well, I win money. If I don't, I don't, kind of thing. Like I don't think guaranteed. It's not the way of the future, and I think PPA is already like stepping back off of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
So
I mean, that's from what I've heard.
What is your status? What's your status with PPA? Are you looking to sign a PPA deal? Are you?
Yeah, 10,000%. 10,000%. For me, like that's the only place that like my goal is to be number one in the world in singles. No, not currently, but I'm hopeful that it will happen. That's all I can really say about that. I'm hopeful that it will happen. Like I want to play on the biggest stage. I want to prove that like I'm not a flash in the pan, that I can be one of the best players in the world, not only in singles, but in doubles. And I truly believe that I can now that I have like the time and opportunity to train and things like that. So no, I mean, for me,
are you doing San Clemente?
I believe so. That's all.
You believe so?
I believe so.
I feel like that means he's close to a deal.
I believe so. No, I wouldn't say that, but I would just say the hope and the goal is to be there in San Clemente.
Dude, can you imagine this dude in MLP? Like the energy.
Get him and Blaine Hovenier together. Let's go.
Like that.
Would you be rapping on the side? Would you just start dropping bars?
Yeah, I would. You know, I mean, I wanted to, and this is like initially, like I think the perspective of me early on was like this guy's like a Nick Kyrgios type of character, but that's not honestly not at all who I am. Right. Like I want the main thing to be the main thing. I want to be known first and foremost for being like sick at pickleball. And then the other stuff, like obviously I enjoy doing the media. I enjoy doing the content. I think these are things that I'm good at. So it's like, why would I not do it? You know what I mean? Where a lot of players are like skittish about being on camera and stuff like that. It's like, who do you think brands want to pay? The guy who sits in the corner after his match or the guy who will do an interview afterwards?
Yeah, right? For sure. Well, bro, I talked about your interview after you beat Fed, and I was just like, it was just electric. Like you're so likable and like I think relatable, you know. And there's a lot of people out there that are probably grinding away coaching tennis and coaching pickleball, and they probably do feel like, you know, like I can hang with these guys if I just can go all in. And it's not a level playing field right now for some players. because yeah, like you said, I mean, we got players that are playing pickleball 4 or 5 hours a day, training. That's all they're doing. And I'm sure that's like that for most sports, right? But knowing that, like, if you have the chance to go all in, you know that, you know, you're just going to elevate your game.
Yeah, and that was my plan though. Even like going into this summer, I was like, this is the time, right? And so my plan was like, hopefully I can fare well enough in one of these PPAs to get in the top 50 and sign a contract. Like that was my sole goal, right? Like,
and this is primarily for singles.
Both.
Well, I knew I have a better. I like breaking in the top 50 in doubles. Like is pretty darn hard if you're just like no name, quote unquote. In singles, you can. I have it's within my control. I mean, doubles is my priority as far as like what I'm going to be working on and practicing this summer. Like singles, if I develop a little bit of a soft game, like I think I'll be close to unplayable. But in doubles, like there's so much more nuances to the game as far as shot selection, court positioning. The counter is something that doesn't come super naturally for me. So yeah, doubles is the game, right? Doubles is pickleball. So I know that I need to get my level up there in doubles. So that's kind of like what the focus will be. But yeah, I mean, I want to be a 3-sport athlete, baby.
Who have some of your partners been in men's doubles?
Oh, dude, I can't even tell you anyone that you would even know, Tyler.
Okay.
I genuinely don't think. Tanner Pickleball played a money ball with me and we won.
Who?
Tanner Pickleball, Tanner Paddleball.
Okay. Yeah.
Who do you train with? Like, do you go see Althoff? I mean, you're Kentucky guy.
I mean, dude, I was in Florida for like 6 months up until I just got back to Kentucky. Like, so I spent my summers on and off in Kentucky. And then like for the whole winter months, I'm in South Florida. So like I would occasionally make it down to replay and play with like Liverneese and Casey Diamond and Tanner and Dan Court and like that whole crew, like occasionally, you know. But in general, I have like my buddy who's a dentist and played like D1 tennis would just meet me at the park like once a week.
Yeah.
So and then Mari, like I'm good friends with Mari. So like when she was in Louisville last year, like that was great.
Because she's in Florida now, right?
Yeah, she's in Boynton too. And that's what I'm saying. Everyone's in Boynton. They just like go to replay and like take pictures and do their thing. Like it's great. It's good for them. Like I'm jealous. Like I'm like, if I could just hang around at replay all day, like it'd be great.
Yeah.
But even like Fed, I was talking to Fed the other day. He's like, dude, you know, because he commented on my I made like a satirical post about gaining 10,000 followers. Like, you know how the girls, like the influencer girls, like always like have the balloons.
Dude,
so
they do like a full, like, I saw your balloons. They do like a cake and like all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
Dude, I spent $70 on those balloons. My parents were like, "You absolutely lost your mind." I was like, "Shut up." Well, I was like, "Just blow up the balloons. It'll be funny." But yeah. So, where was I? I lost my train of thought. What I was talking about the balloons.
Your double. Who do you train with?
Oh, you said you're talking to Fed about.
Oh yeah. And he was like, basically like, "You're welcome." And then I was like, I owe you a steak. And then so we talked a little bit further, and he was like, "Yeah, dude, come down and train anytime you want." Like I was like, "Yeah, I'll take you out. Take you to the Butcher's Club in West Palm Beach, best bone and ribeye in town." And yeah, so Fed's actually he's been super cool to me, like that, you know.
Yeah, well, we've seen like Lane Sleeth, she's on our MLP team, and she was in Tampa and was like, "Yeah, the only person I had to train with was Travis Rettenmeyer, and I had to drive an hour and a half to go train with him." And so she just recently moved up to Delray, and she's like, dude, it's night and day different.
Yeah,
like,
it's crazy. That whole area is wild.
Yeah. It's just like this spot. It's become kind of the Mecca, you know?
Yeah, I'd say it used to be Austin, but now it's hands down.
Ben left Austin and moved down there.
Hands down Florida.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Crum just moved from Utah down there to train.
Yeah.
They're all down there. Which I think, I don't know, like I do think that like if you're intentional about your training, like I do think there are ways to train at a high level without being surrounded by 700 other top pros. The only difference is I think you can drill the right things and for singles and doubles. The only difference is like the match play factor of it, right? Like there are balls that come back and things like that. You just cannot replicate when you're not playing against the best in the world. So that would be the only thing where.
I mean, all Sean needs is a wall.
That's all he needs, dude. I believe it, man. With that guy, you never know. That's all he needs. I believe it.
Dude,
I saw him thinking with Grayson. He was practicing with Grayson the other day. So I don't know.
Dude, we were in line together at the airport a couple weeks ago and talked to him for like 45 minutes. He's an interesting guy, but he eats, sleeps, breathes pickleball. Like, I mean, literally like shadow practicing in the security line at the airport, working on his backhand. Like,
Dude, I believe
it's
it.
insane.
He might be the best player in
Obsession.
the world right now, all the way around, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
he might. I agree. I mean, I think I've been saying this. I think he's the best mixed player in the world. And if he played with AL, I mean, it's hard because Ben plays with AL, right? So it's hard to, but I think he's the best mixed player in the world.
Sure. In singles, he would be a tough. That's what people say. Who do you think would be the toughest matchup for me in singles?
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't think of anyone that like totally, but I think he would be a tough matchup because
Yeah.
he's so long and he covers the net so well.
He strikes it so clean. He's got so much pace on it, and like you said, he is long. I mean, he's 6'2", 6'3", but he's got a pretty big wingspan.
Yeah, I did see some of the Julian Arnold Alshon match, and dude,
Oh, yeah.
Julian was handling him for most of that match. But that was,
he was,
but
and it felt like, I mean, Christian was trying to stay calm, but I think Julian's chirping was kind of messing with him a little bit.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
You know, look, Julian will play mind games with you.
That was a fun match though. Like,
have you played Julian?
I have not played Julian. No, there's so many people that I want to play that I just like. I'm like, all right, let me just play a full PPA Tour schedule. Like that's all I want to do.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
Have you played
there's not
Grayson?
much, but yeah, Grayson's beaten me. Like, and I mean, both times rally scoring, and one time it went to 3. One time I was like 13-13.
Gotcha.
In rally, he's like, I would rather play literally anyone in the world in rally scoring other than Grayson.
Yeah.
Because like if he comes out hot, like the serve is so big that you're
a
just
rocket,
like,
man.
you're down 7-3 and you're like, forget it. You know? But yeah, I'd rather play Grayson than Chris, especially in rally scoring. And side out, probably not, but in rally for sure.
So there was a little controversy. I'm just curious if you have a take on this about Armand seeding at that APP. He ended up with a 3 seed in singles. I know that Chris wasn't super happy about it. Salome was like going off.
Jack Foster,
Jack Foster had to play qualies because allegedly he hurt his ankle but didn't really pull out. I'm just curious your thoughts on that. I mean, and then Armand ends up winning it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like it's their tour. They can do whatever they want. I think the main issue at hand is like there was no precedent for it, right?
Yeah.
So it like made my draw significantly tougher, but that ended up working out for me because like the optics of me beating both number ones in the world in a 6-day span, like are like, all right, well, no one's done that. Good for business, good for the brand. But yeah, no, I definitely think there was serious credence to the host of complaints that were fired off. It's all about precedent, right? It's like you've never, because there are plenty of dudes who have like went on runs and then we're back in qualies or back in like an Amar Wazir or a Mariano Yee. I don't know if you guys know those guys, but like Mariano Yee beat Grayson, made the final in I think Sacramento. That's what it was. And then the next week he's like the 15 seed or like is like the 1 seed in qualies. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think again, him being the number 1 player in India and maybe it's like a visibility type of thing. But it's their tour, it's their party. They can cry if they want to. I mean, like I wasn't like that. I didn't like raise hell. I was like,
Well, and I also think that like, it sounds like he wants to come over here and I mean, you treat him the right way. Maybe he chooses APP over PPA, right?
Right.
So
100%.
I just thought, I thought that was pretty interesting. And a lot of players were fired up. I was in
the Facebook chat.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Facebook comments are my favorite.
No,
like I get on like the pickleball forum just to read the crazy comments.
I don't get on Facebook, dude. I never get on. The only time I'll get on Facebook is just to like peep a few birthdays. I'm like, oh god, it's my aunt's birthday 2 weeks ago. I'm like, hey Aunt Judy, my bad.
Well, dude, for me, that's the only way my mom like communicates with anybody.
Oh, it's crazy. I know.
Is Facebook, and it's and she does like the vague booking, where she's like, oh gosh, life's so hard, blah blah. And so it's like, I guess I better call today.
Yeah, exactly.
Like. Yeah,
you see that
one of those. Or all the people are like, "What's wrong? Are you okay?" And then she never responds.
It's like 70 comments too.
Yeah, exactly. And then
when that demo post,
totally never explains herself or anything. And then she's like, "Oh," then I'll call her, like, "Mom, you doing all right?" "Oh, I stubbed my toe today."
Yeah, man.
Like so.
Awesome, man. Well, we appreciate your time. Do you have any other future plans? So what's your next tournament? Is it San Clemente in 2 weeks or
I'm
3
playing
weeks?
the Bourbon Ball, Money Ball next weekend.
Moneyball. Hey, he's good to do Moneyball.
Yeah, he hasn't signed yet.
As
This guy
until-
got all the PPA players
I
playing
did
Moneyball
not.
banned.
I did not.
Yeah.
As of this moment, I'm playing.
There you
I'll
go.
say that, which is next weekend in Kentucky. It's actually a cool little tournament. Like, it's a very nicely run event by the Bonert family. They do a nice job with it, and Humana's involved, so it's cool. Other than
Okay,
that,
so Riley's family runs it.
yeah, Riley's family runs
Okay.
it, and it's like it's a nice like they have like tons of sponsors and stuff, so it'll be fun.
Yeah,
Just
that's
go out there and play doubles. Again, I wanted to just touch one more. So the song we're recording tonight, it may or may not be named after a very prominent professional pickleball player.
Okay.
And I want you
And
to
John.
imagine, no, I'll say it's a very prominent female pickleball player.
Okay.
Go, Annalie Waters.
See, so here's the thing. I'm not going to tell you who it's about, but I can tell you it's not about her.
I love that.
And it was going to be, but there's just something about the optics of an older male like myself. Even it's like the whole song is like a pump up pickleball anthem. Like
Yeah.
it's Mo Bamba, it's Tyler Hero, it's not Halle Berry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just
Yeah.
was like the optics of me writing a song, like a 33-year-old man writing a song about an 18-year-old girl, like that could be misconstrued in some type of way. So I was like,
Sure.
I'm
They'll
not gonna-
misconstrue it no matter what. But yeah.
Exactly. Well, anyway, so I'm really excited. I think this song is a song that could be played at PPAs for years and years to come.
So
I'm
there
super
are
stoked.
there are actually a couple pickleball songs that PPA has played. One of the guys that used to work for PPA, he was a rapper as well, and they would play his song during the timeouts and stuff like that. He used to work for that CBD company, Medicinal Leaf.
Oh,
Do you know who I'm talking about?
I don't know who you're talking about, but I know Medicinal Leaf.
Yeah. And so he wrote it, and they would play it during the commercials or during the breaks.
Well,
and then-
I'm excited about this. Like,
No,
I'm.
it's a banger. It's a certified banger. It's like it's
When is it going to release?
Yeah, I don't know.
Recorded
I was-
tonight.
Probably I would like to shoot like a short video for it as well. So I'm hopeful. I don't know, within a few weeks. It would be nice. I was talking to my agent. It would be nice to get it out before San Clemente, but
Yeah,
we're gonna try to do that. We're gonna try to make it happen.
I love that. I'm pumped.
Are you guys gonna be out there? Well, Tyler
Can we
will,
play it on the
but-
pod? Yeah, we'll both be out. Well, I'll be there for MLP. Tyler will be there for both.
Yeah.
All right, amazing. Well, we'll have to link up. Shoot the breeze.
Well, wait. So before we go, can we get some freestyle? Can we get some?
All right, yeah. Can Tyler do like a little bit of a beat?
Yeah, Tyler can.
I can't do anything.
Yes,
Well,
he can.
Jimmy,
Tyler, give him a beat.
can I like clap or something?
Oh,
Yeah,
don't
you
we
can
have
do
one
that.
on here?
Hold on. Let's
I bet we have one. Hang on.
see.
Maybe not.
All right, I'll just. Oh, you doing the KOTC beat? Yeah, I was gonna say. All right, I don't have to think about it. It comes straight from the head. Yeah, it started in qualies and then it ended with Fed. Yeah, I did so great, was feeling joy and bliss. I had to go up to NYC to beat Chris. Then I lost to Armand, but I'm cool with that. I'm cool with rap. I'm back. Like a matter of fact, I'm coming with Jimmy and his KOTC with your boy AC. They can never be me. All right,
Boom.
Love it. Love
that's
it.
Love
there
it.
you go. Just a little
Hey,
taste.
how
Can
do
we
people
clip that? We're gonna clip that and play
You can
that.
clip it. off the
where do
dome.
people stay up to date with you? How do they follow along? Just Instagram?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter and Instagram, so I don't know. I'm working on the.
Bro, 10K. 10K.
Hey, 13.3 now, Jimmy.
13. Woo, this guy's coming. Incredible.
AC baby
All right, love it.
on Instagram and Twitter. We're working on the LinkedIn page still isn't up yet, but
Hey,
I'm
and then just real quick, you got Netflix crew following you. Is this
no,
for-
it's not. It's just we don't know where yet, but
But
it's not.
documentary crew, I should
Correct,
say.
correct.
Yeah, but you don't know
So-
where it's going. But like,
No.
give us
I don't
like,
think
is
anybody
it just
does.
you? Is it pickleball in general?
No, I think it's a variety of players throughout
Yeah.
the course of the year and just trying to tell a story. They're an awesome
It's
crew,
awesome.
been a lot of fun to work with. So right now we're just kind of doing like a day in my life, right? So tennis
Yeah.
lesson, pickleball, etc. Just trying to get the full scope of like what my day-to-day looked like or
Yeah,
what it's going to look
that's
like
cool.
going forward. So they've been amazing to work with. And again, I think it's ultimately like things like this are so good for the sport in terms of growing it and turning into something that, we're proud of as a product. So
For sure.
they've been awesome.
Random question. What time do you wake up and go to bed?
Like when I'm teaching full time or just like now?
Average, generally speaking, if someone asks you that question.
I would say like 10:36.
Awesome.
10:30 p.m., 6 in the morning. Like I don't really like drink or anything anymore. Like I've done that, and I just like I hate waking up with no mental clarity, like not feeling sharp, especially right now when I'm like popping on pods and doing this, that, and the third. It's like I just want to feel like I'm sharp at all times. So
Yeah.
like,
Awesome.
7.5 hours, caffeine, rock and roll.
Sweet, man. We appreciate it. Well, best of luck in your next tournament. Hope to see you in San Clemente. If you are there, then maybe we could do an in-person.
I would
ones
love
are-
if you're on the same side of the draw as Tyler, to be honest.
I got to make it out of my first round, so it
You
doesn't
know
matter
what?
if he's on the same side.
I'll tell you this: I'm like 13-0 against lefties in singles. I've never lost to a lefty,
What
and I've beaten
lefties
some
are they?
like Ryler DeHart, Pablo Tellez, like Tanner Pickleball. I honestly like it's something about the way the ball comes in.
So I'm undefeated against Pablo. We've only played once though. I think.
I don't know what it is. Like really, I don't. But I've never lost to a lefty, and honestly, I mean the Pablo match was sort of close. But like
How
I
long
don't
ago
know.
was that? How long ago was that? That must have been 2, 3, 4 years ago then.
Nah, bro, I wasn't playing pickleball 2 years ago. That was Pablo match was Atlanta last fall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So Pablo was like the 10 seed, and it was like 11-4,
Sweet, man.
4-11, 11-4. Because they went to Atlanta twice last year.
They went to Atlanta 3 times last year with MLP, or 4 times with MLP.
Yeah. To be fair, I love that facility. Like if they play every tournament there, I like that lifetime. So
yeah, awesome. Well, once again, we really appreciate your time.
guys,
Make sure to stay
thank you
on
so
for
much. I'm such a big fan. So
few more minutes.
Yeah,
and we'll
dude,
get this uploaded.
appreciate that.